Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of SQF Spotlight. In today's episode, we turn our focus to a topic close to the hearts of pet enthusiasts, the profound importance of SQF certification for pet food. In a market inundated with choices, ensuring the safety and quality of our furry friends' sustenance is so important. So whether you're a pet parent seeking the best for your fur ball or a professional in the industry, this episode promises insights into why SQF certification is so important. So tune in, buckle up, and let SQF Spotlight be your beacon in understanding why SQF certification is the key to ensuring that your pet's bowl is filled not just with food, but with the highest quality and safety standards.
Thanks so much, John. What a great and fun topic today. I'd like to introduce our guests. First, Chris Middleton is the Food Safety Business Unit Manager at Bureau Veritas Certification North America. Bureau Veritas, or BV, is a licensed certification body and a licensed training center for SQF. Chris has over 20 years auditing and food safety experience, including auditing SQF. And in fact, Chris was the 2020 SQF Auditor of the Year. He was also a member of the SQF Technical Working Group for Pet Food for Edition 9 of the SQF Code. And Chris holds an honors BSc in toxicology from the University of Toronto. Thank you, Chris, for being here.
Thanks for having me, Stephanie. Thanks, John.
No problem. And Matt Ryan is the Food Safety Director for Diamond Pet Foods. Matt has a BSc in Animal Science, as well as a Master of Science in Meat Science from the University of Missouri. Matt works to ensure food safety programs are implemented across all 6 of Diamond Pet Foods locations that also happen to be SQF certified. So thank you both so much for joining us today. Chris, how about we start with you and tell us a little bit about Bureau Veritas.
Thanks, Stephanie. BV is, as you mentioned, a licensed certification body and training center. We're located throughout the globe. So we're one of the largest service providers in this industry, auditing a number of standards, with one of our key focus standards being SQF. Have a great relationship with SQFI and have a lot of great clients that we do work with. Matt being one of them on this side, and really lucky to be working with him on that end and help moving food safety and quality forward in the pet food industry, which seems to be one that was forgotten for a long time. So it's great to be here and be part of this.
Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about Diamond Pet Foods?
Sure. Well, Diamond Pet Foods is a leading pet food manufacturer in the United States. We've got 6 facilities, as you kind of mentioned earlier, and we're actually actively building our 7th, which we hope to be kind of getting off the ground here within a year or so. We're privately held and privately owned, and our owners are actually involved with the operation of the company to this day. So that's kind of a unique aspect of a company that's our size in the pet food business.
So Chris, why would you say food safety certification is needed for pet food?
Well, I think it's really good because it's an industry that was forgotten for a long time and didn't really get looked into when it came into food safety and food quality. On that side, obviously, FSMA regulations coming through for animal food has put safety at a real focus on this side. And what's great about certification, especially SQF, is it focuses on a food safety management system. So you're looking at a systematic approach for controlling those risks that could be present within the industry. You're not just working off of a checklist type audit or something along those lines that has been used to in the past. It is extremely risk-based, so it can be molded and shifted depending on the operation and the facility. So again, all those certifications are site-specific. So it is really important that it's not just a cookie-cutter system that one site does one thing is going to be applicable to all the others. And then it's also very evidence-based. You need a lot of validation. It's built into the heart of the code. I'm sure we're going to be discussing that a bit here. But really, there has to be an understanding of why we're doing things, not just we've done it because my grandpappy's grandpappy's grandpappy did it that way.
So maybe some people, when we think of food safety, they think of humans. Why would you say it's equally important for animals and humans?
Well, I think it's key for both, right? We're also taking into account the human side to a certain level within animal and pet foods, just because of its prevalence within the home, right? We leave pet food out all day. We have a lot of little kids. They can come over. They could be eating the wet food. They could be eating the dry food. Those are some risks that we do have to consider. They are built into some of the regulatory requirements within North America, or within the US, I should say, but also talked about a little bit within the SQF code on that end. But I think it's really important as well for the pet itself, because a lot of them are family members. Like, I can speak on my side in sort of tragic news, not to bring everybody down, but unfortunately, my fur boy Fozzie had to go up to the big swimming pool in the sky with all the tennis balls earlier this year, and they're a family member, right? Like, you don't realize how close they are. The memories that you have with them, gets you emotional when you think about it. So that's why it's super important. It's just right at the same level. And for some people, and I know some people, they like the pets more than they like the people. So
That's right, Chris. We just adopted a Great Dane a couple months ago, and this little guy is just become such an important member of our family. So I appreciate your comments. Thank you. All right, next question for Matt. When did Diamond Pet Food first get certified, and what was the driving factor to becoming certified?
So we rolled out our certifications back in 2017 was actually when we went through the audit and got certified. Of course, we were kind of ramping up to that point. One of the major driving forces was just that it was a customer requirement. They wanted to see that level of commitment made to our food safety programs and policies, and that level of certification that kind of verifies and validates that those aspects are in place. So that was kind of the one of the big reasons why we wanted to put this in place. And then obviously we just started from there and rolled it out to all of our sites.
Great. How did you prepare for SQF certification? What challenges did you have to overcome?
A lot of the challenges were more about documenting what we were currently doing and just taking credit for the kind of programs that we had in place and polishing those up and making sure that they were in compliance with the code. Obviously was a big part of it too, just because the code is based on global food safety initiatives, and so there might be certain things that we didn't think about that we wanted to put in there that we would need to be in compliance. And so there was a lot of that program development. A gap analysis was kind of the first things that you do. Sit down and look at where are the missing pieces, and what do we need to put the support and put the resources in to make sure that we can get these programs more robust and get them up to snuff to be ready for SQF certification.
That's great. Thanks, Matt. All right, next up, another question for Chris. Chris, continuous improvement is an important element of the SQF code. Can you share with us what you have seen from certified operations with respect to continuous improvement?
No, that's a great question, and it's a hallmark in the standard, right? It's, if we think about what a food safety management system is, or pet food safety management system, it's really looking at that plan, do, check, act cycle that you really have to live. Your internal audit programs, your management reviews, you're always looking at how are we currently ensuring we're making the safest product possible at the highest quality, and what can we do to improve it and to improve the system itself. Some of the best aspects that I do see is regular involvement from senior leadership on those things. It's not just a once a year meeting that we do, get them more thoroughly involved. The SQF code has done a great job at pulling this requirement in for at least monthly updates that are documented to senior leadership on the performance of the SQF system. So that does help promote that continuous improvement, promotes driving forward the food safety culture side of things that we're seeing within the industry on that side. So I think that's one of those best practices that are in there. And the other thing for continuous improvement is opening up the doors to the people. It's not just QA that's involved. This isn't something that's plagued just the pet food industry. It's really the food industry across the board. That food safety and quality was only in the QA part, and everybody was sort of siloed, and operations was over here, and management was over here, and finance was over here. It's breaking those silos down, bringing everybody in, and everybody's part of it for a common goal on that side, and being free to share that information, getting things like comment boxes in or suggestions and celebrating some changes that can be brought forward in progressing your food safety management system forward. That's some of the things that I think I've seen that has really driven the systems forward and allows them to continuously evolve and get better, right? Because the goal here is not getting a high score, right? Like that seems to be sometimes what people think the focus is. The focus is the safe product that is at the consumer's level, right? Avoiding the illnesses, avoiding the recalls, avoiding the bad press, brand protection, right? These certifications provide you with brand protection. It's not a cloak to guard you from everything, but it's going to give you the reaction measures and the risk mitigation on that side. And it's important that continuously evolves because, God, man, back in the 1970s, we wouldn't be talking about listeria. We wouldn't be talking about salmonella. We wouldn't be talking about those things. And what are we doing now? We're talking about all that, and that had to be thought of and start moving forward.
Thanks, Chris. I agree. Continuous improvement is so important. Next question for Matt. What would you say is your return on investment for implementing SQF and getting SQF certified?
Well, kind of like what Chris was talking about, when it comes to food safety, we don't really have kind of a budget that we try to follow or stick to. Obviously, we want to watch the cost and not spend money unnecessarily, but when it's talking about protecting our brands in the marketplace and doing the right thing, it needs to be done. So while we've definitely implemented a lot of tools and things that have been used company-wide now by our HR groups and our safety groups and operations teams, so we've certainly put in a lot of really good pieces to our food safety system that have been used by multiple departments that makes us better overall as a company. The return on investment is kind of unlimited and incalculable. If we can avoid one recall, right? That's really what it comes down to, is avoiding these recalls, avoiding the potential to have some sick customers out in the field. So
that was great, Matt. Thanks so much. As a new pet owner, there are so many choices out there for a consumer to choose, what kind of pet food to buy. And being a bit of an industry insider, it was really good to know that Diamond, the product that we purchased for Toby, is SQF certified. So Chris, Matt, thank you both so much for your time today. Do you just want to end and see, do either of you have any additional thoughts you wanted to share?
I'll go because Matt spoke last and just kind of build off of what he said. It is really the return on investment. And this is why it's really important to get that management commitment pulled in, but it's really not going to be seen on that side on a P&L directly. And it's one of those prevention tasks that you're going to see. Do you really want to go through a catastrophic event that could almost put your company out of business, damage your brand forever? There are situations, there's countless food safety instances that have occurred, recalls, injuries, deaths, and people look at those foods and those brands and associate it with those. On that side, this is a great risk mitigation tool that will help prevent the losses, not only financially, but also within your brand side, within the public, and also shows that commitment. So it is a really good tool that you may not see directly on that P&L, but really is the return is infinite, in all honesty.
Thanks, Chris. Matt, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, just one thing I'd like to share with my background used to be in human food. I worked for Farmland Foods prior to Diamond. And when I started working in the pet food company, and one of the things that I realized is that's all the pet's going to get. So it's got to be whole and complete. And so there's a ton of work that's done to ensure that all the ingredients come in are meeting the nutritional requirements that they're supposed to, and that our finished product is whole and complete, and that it's going to be everything that pet needs, and even balanced. The minerals are balanced for the age, for example. And so it's just one thing that's kind of unique, that it requires even an additional quality control aspect of pet food that even a lot of human foods don't really take it up to that level. And so it was something that I had learned moving from human food into pet foods. A lot of people kind of probably assumes that there's less kind of quality and food safety that goes into pet foods, but it's almost more. It's and so it's something that we don't take lightly. So,
Matt, again, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time, and thank you all. All right, well, that wraps up the spotlight. Again, Chris, Matt, thank you so much for your comments today, and we greatly appreciate all of the work that you guys do to make sure that our pets are safe and healthy with nutritious foods. Thanks so much, and have a great day.
Thanks.
thank you.